Okay, hi. What's going on, everyone? Friendly Neighborhood Fanboys here, minus Alex, and we just finished watching the first episode of the Halo TV show on Paramount Plus.
Hell of a start.
Yeah.
Hell of a start to a show.
You know, we'd be lying if we said we didn't watch some of the reviews from press on the first two episodes, and we were kind of disappointed because Halo is something dear to our hearts.
Very much so.
And I mean, by no means, like, just going off the top. This is going to be spoiler review, by the way, so turn away if you haven't seen this. But before we get into this, if you could please hit that like button, it really, really does help us out. And subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more breakdown review content like this and all our other reactions on the channel. I don't know, at least, like, my first impression was, like, it's not deep by any means.
No.
It's very, like, surface with, like, some of the lore scattered in. And you're like, oh, okay, like, I know what that is, but, like, they're telling their own story.
I think they're setting up some deep themes, though. The fact that, like, you know, Chief starts questioning shit based on what the, like, insurgent girl says. And he's all of a sudden like, wait a minute, what the fuck am I doing?
Well, the first thing is, like, they're right off the bat, they're humanizing Chief, which, like, I know some people are like, oh, well, Chief is supposed to be, like, you know, very robotic, but I think, like, the whole point of the show is going to be, like, he's going to come to terms with, like, that he is his own person, and then, like, they're kind of framing the UNSC as bad, as the evil guys in this light, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do, like, if Halsey's going to be, like, the main bad person, or if she's going to, like, kind of flip, like, Chief is, because she's, like...
Well, I mean, Halsey has always done her own agenda.
Yeah.
Stuff, right?
Which is flipping back and forth. Crazy now. Because I think the one part she says, like, you know, when Chief gets in, like, bring him right to me. So, like, that to me said, oh, she's going to try and suppress his memory already and try and get it under the fucking table. But then it's that whole thing of, like, hey, when Master Chief comes in, she sends Silver Team, like, kill fucking anyone that tries to touch him. And you're like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And then she smiles when he touches the artifact again. So it's like, what? Like, like, she's definitely doing her own thing.
In that last flashback to it, looked like there was a younger version of Halsey in Chief's, like, the dream thing. Like, I don't know, like, we saw a brief flash of a younger woman, and it kind of looked like Halsey, so I wonder if she, like, indoctrinated him when he was a child, right? That's, like, what the Spartan program is.
Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't believe even in any of the books that he didn't have memories of what happened. Like, I'm pretty sure he knows. Like, they're just, like, they're taken and then they're brutalized, and, like, half of them die during the process, and then they just grow up to be these super soldiers. So, like, I don't think it wasn't, like, knowledge that they had, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. But yeah, what do you guys think of just, like, the general episode?
I thought it was great. I mean, I really think they set the tone right away when, like, those kids in the forest just got blown to bits,
eviscerated,
literally, and I was like, okay, great, this is an R-rated show for sure.
Good, as Halo should be.
Yeah, I agree. I just wasn't expecting them to, like, go that hard with it. Like, all of a sudden, this girl's legs get blown clear of the forest. I was like,
Astro, let's go in the cave and look at the slipping on mushrooms.
Explodes.
It was pretty cool how they introduced the Spartans. Like, the CG on the Covenant too looks amazing.
Those elites were fucking.
It was weird because, like, some of, like, the mass shots of them were, like, kind of jank and, like, like, not textured almost, it looked like, and you were like, what the fuck? But then, like, the close-ups and, like, when Kwan's dad, like, gets killed, like, that model of, like, I was like, what the fuck? It's so good.
The Prophet Mercy
looked
fucking
sick.
Like, he was
so good.
So high resolution detail. Like, that was one thing I noticed too, just, like, the way it looks. Like, it looks really good. Like, just, like, production value wise. There are a couple shots where you can tell they're like, okay, we're gonna sweep this one under the under the rug. Like, but, like, that's to be expected with, like, a huge fucking production TV show. But for the most part, everything, like, looks really good, sounds really good.
I like what you said too when like that whole scene with Halsey being like, protect Master Chief at all costs. It's like you said, it's like those are some good stakes. Like, sometimes I find with these big production TV shows, it's always like, oh, end of the world or whatever, where it's like, this one is like, hey, like, do we choose between going against our own team just to save like one guy, or but I really like how the Spartans kind of report right to Halsey, which has always been like a thing.
I like that.
I really like that.
The way they kind of left off the episode, I hope, because here's my thing when they like whenever they do these kinds of shows where it's just like if they take a beloved franchise and then like they make a spin-off about it, is like you get like 5 minutes of Master Chief and then it's like, oh, we got to do the human perspective. It's like, no, I don't fucking care. I want to see like. So that's what I was worried about going into the show, but it looks like they're just gonna do like. They're gonna have the UNSC story and like Chief is gonna go do his own fucking thing with Halsey like talking in his ear. He's gonna go fucking fight the Covenant or whatever, and then they're gonna have Silver Team, and then I don't know, maybe they'll have UNSC. I hope we get Chief's story. Like I don't really care about anything.
It's like if it's another Halo 5 where they make Chief the bad guy.
Yeah.
Which is like
I don't think he'll be the. But here's the thing: is like I think they'll paint Chief as a bad guy like to the UNSC, but like to us the viewer and like what we're watching it like I don't know.
Or what I'm thinking is like the hierarchy of the UNSC like at this current moment in time will get like changed. So like that admiral that was making those calls, I think she's gonna get fucking waxed.
Like the Covenant's gonna attack.
You
think they're gonna show the Fall of Reach?
Maybe.
Which would be cool.
That would be cool.
They're showing the moral compass between Keyes and his daughter. So like they're like the moral people at UNSC, and there's a lot of shady. And so I don't know. I think maybe they could do like the Halo 2 or 3 thing where like they get fucking iced. Chief is trying to save them, and then that's what like brings him back. It's like, oh, he's actually on our side. You know, like he's not.
Because usually I think canonically they find the first ring after the Fall of Reach. So like right there they're gonna change up like how we know.
Now is that what he just grabbed? Is that a Forerunner? Or is that like hinting towards like a Forerunner artifact? I'm thinking. Yeah.
I just don't know what it does or what it symbolizes, because like if that vision he's having of his past is correct, then like he was drawing that shit, so like maybe it's connected like deeper than we think to him specifically, or that's just like I don't know, that's just like what the artifact is like projecting.
I wonder if that artifact is how Cortana's gonna come into the show, because like it's blue light and like we had that little hint of like that Halsey clone in the ball, like in the bubble. You were saying?
She even said too, like no Cortana AI, no cloning, which is interesting.
So like maybe that's like they use that Forerunner tech to make fucking Cortana as the AI, and then that's the chip that he fucking plugs into his head. And
even with like what we've got so far, like they have a lot to cover in terms of like getting general audiences up to speed on like this lore, and obviously they're doing it in their own way, but I feel like they're on a good path to try and explain all this shit, and they've already been greenlit for season 2, which tells me that like this first season is going to be a lot of like here is everything, and then like season 2 is going to be like
I don't think they're gonna try and explain everything though. I think they're just gonna leave hints for people that know, but then like they'll explain all like basic shit.
Well, that's what I mean though. Like they're laying the groundwork of like all the basics. Like here's the UNSC, here's what they stand for, blah blah blah, right? Yeah. Here's what the Spartans are.
I think like I was saying earlier too, like I really like the subtleties that they're doing with all the characters. Like they're making Halsey that like own agenda type person. You're seeing the like consequences of Chief's upbringing, and they're actually like touching on those things instead of just being like, oh, like Chief's like this completely different person. I will admit though, I wish he put his helmet on more. 100%. I didn't mind the reveal to be like, hey, I'm a human, to like, because that was like a story beat of like, hey, I'm showing you I'm human, and then like, you know, if you put it back on, and then it's like, hey, we're good.
I think it was inevitable for them to take the helmet off, obviously, because like Pablo's a great actor, but I wish they waited till like at least the last episode of this fucking season or something, because like that to me was like way too premature. Like I get why it happened because of the story beat, and like here I am a human as well.
But then just put it back on. Like why are you still flying the ship?
That or like keep the mystique. Like
or don't even
keep
show,
it darker. Just like
just see the back of the head.
They're trying to avoid a whole Mandalorianism. Like they don't want to have that. It's like, oh, I can't take off the helmet, because it's like it's not his creed that he can't take off his helmet. It's just like in the Halo show. I agree with you. Like I never want to see his face again. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I think they're trying to explain that it's like it's not like a rule that he has to keep his helmet on. It was just like it was just. I don't think we'll see it often. Hopefully. Not that there's anything wrong with Pablo's face, but not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think like it's pretty cool too, like how much bigger he is than like everybody. Like that's really cool that they did all that stuff. Like that's literally my only gripe, and really it's not one that truly takes me out. I think I like really enjoyed the episode. Really, that's my only. I wouldn't even say critique, because it's like I get why they're doing it. I just hopefully it's like we see his face as like powerful moments, rather than just being like, hey.
I agree.
But everything else was great. I truly liked it. I can't wait to see the next episode.
I mean, we only got the first episode because we don't have press access. We didn't see the second. Who knows? Like maybe the second one is not as good or whatever. But I'm just looking forward to seeing how it unfolds. And here's the other thing too. You got to look at it from this perspective. This was a Showtime show at first, so they were running on like an actual like TV budget. That's one thing I noticed is like a lot of the CG shots look or not even the CG ones, but like even like the tight shots and the CG shots look like pretty high budget for the most part. But then I hate that like TV-ism of like the long orbit shots and like the super wides like all the time. I don't like that because that's super like TV. Like I'm watching The Flash. No offense to people that like The Flash, but like that type of CW shit.
Yeah.
But that's just a product of it being a Showtime original show, and then Paramount picked it up. But now Paramount has it for season 2, so now that's going to be pure like streaming money for season 2.
Yeah.
And I can see the production value and money going up.
Side note as well for people who are wondering if they want to like subscribe to Paramount Plus. If you have an Xbox, an Xbox Game Pass holder, or even just on PC and are a Game Pass holder, you can get 30-day trial. This isn't an ad or anything. I just want to let you know if you were thinking like you wanted to just go to give it a try. I learned that this morning. So
That's what we did.
Yeah, so we get to watch it for free for a month and see if you like it.
Any closing thoughts?
I think I liked what we said as soon as we came into the show. Like, let's not have high expectations, and we were pleasantly surprised. I think they set the tone really well. I think we can all agree. Like, we're excited to see the next episode, and yeah, let us know what you guys thought in the comments below. We'd love to chat about it with you. Hit that like, subscribe button. Appreciate you guys tuning in.